We have the third and final question, which is it's funny because I chose this because it kind of fits in with a lot of things we've been talking about today. So this person is the owner of a small graphic design studio. They say, I'm struggling to attract and retain young talent. And you're like, okay, heard that before. But this is different, you see. Recently, we lost 2 junior designers to a larger firm. Their exit interviews revealed they were lured away by flashy perks like unlimited vacation time, in-office gyms, and hefty signing bonuses. Now, as a small business, we simply can't match these lavish offerings. Our profit margins are tight and we don't have the resources for expensive benefits and packages. However, I know we offer a great work environment with opportunities for creativity and growth that aren't always available in larger corporations. What non-monetary benefits can we offer that would appeal to Gen Z and younger millennials? How can we compete with these big boys without breaking the bank?
I empathize. It's hard, and I think this is always going to be a case. And I think in any creative as well, it's you're going to have that same switch between in-house and agency that people are going to want to try throughout their careers. It's just the nature of the beast, I'm afraid. If you're a small business, corporates are always going to have more money and resources to throw at attracting talent. That's why, Deloitte and organizations like that will be renowned for having the very best young talent. That said, in terms of your question, what are the things you can do to attract a Gen Z, to retain a Gen Z that isn't monetary? What we know from the research, well-being is massive. Well-being is huge. So making sure that you have a good sick policy, making sure that you have a generous holiday plan, making sure that there's guilt-free time taken if they need it, that holiday or that sick leave. Run your 12-month stress test every year, which you should be doing anyway, for HSE standards in the UK. Show that you are investing in people's well-being, in their whole self that they bring to the workforce. The other thing we know about Gen Z, they're massive into training and development. Yes, big corporations are going to have more budgets to throw at that. But what you will find from any person in their mid to late 30s and above who has worked in smaller companies in their early career will tell you they learned more in those years in a small business than they ever did working in a corporate later on, because you have access to so much. They have access to you, the founder, the entrepreneur. They have access to client work they probably wouldn't even come near in a larger organization. So I think it's really emphasizing the training and development that people will get organically and intentionally just being part of a small business. That is an incredible perk you can offer to Gen Z. And with that, be realistic about the time that you're likely to hold on to people. If you could hold on to a member of staff for 3 years, you're probably in the top 20% of organizations in terms of engagement for younger people. And I think finally, other benefits that work really well, volunteering, really good. A great sense of purpose, a great sense of meaning, a great sense of belonging that's created through volunteering, through work. We know as well from the research, it's one of the few perks or benefits that actually does have a direct impact on a person's well-being because of this sense of purpose and meaning it gives people, and the relationships they build through that. That could be something really cool to look at, and the Gen Z love that as well. More sustainable organizations that are giving back and contributing to society. Look at B Corp. B Corp could be a really interesting thing to do. Again, go back to Ed Williams from last Thursday. He talked about B Corp and how it's a brilliant blueprint to build a business from day one, and how actually the feedback he's getting from the young people he's bringing into the business is they're actually seeking out B Corps to work for because of their commitments they're making in terms of ethics, sustainability, etc. So there's loads of different things that you can do, but it's going to take some work. It's going to take some intention. It's going to take some clever marketing. You're going to have to feed that into your recruitment process as well. And the final thing I'd say on that, it's recruitment and retention, because they feed into each other. Because if we're not bringing the right person into our business who is looking for meaning and purpose in their work, who is looking for fast, scrappy development as what it means to be part of an SME, if they are more driven by financial rewards than they are positive well-being or better work-life balance or a good holiday package, then they are going to always go off to the big corporates once they have some experience on their CV. So I think it's as much about understanding the values and intentions and vision that the people you interview have for their career. And does that fit with what a small business can offer and what you need from them in terms of of retention in terms of their tenure. So lots of different ideas there, loads of things you can do, but it will require a bit of planning.
Yeah, and I'm going to have a look, give you a little bit of tough love, OP, here. You run a design studio. Your job is to design things that make people happy. So it sounds to me like you are a little bit sore that you've just lost 2 really good people to a big firm. Put that to one side. Stop crying about it. And again, I told you it's tough love. Stop crying for a second and go, how can I design an experience where people are going to absolutely love it here? This is what you do for a living. You are so creative. You're a designer. You can create something amazing. Think about what Leanne just said there. See, I'm that excited. I just smashed my microphone. Think about what Leanne just said there. Think about more intentionally going forward. How are you going to fix it, rather than being a bit bitter that someone who you spent 2 years training has now disappeared off to another agency and you feel like you have to start again. As Leanne said, is it Virgin who says that train them so they can leave, treat them so they'll stay? Is that right, Lee?
Yeah, exactly.
Tough love over. We're back to nice people now. I'm sure you'll work it out. Just listen to what Leanne said there. Is really, really good advice. And I said, go back, and you've got lots and lots and lots of resources in our back catalogue. Almost every single episode is about creating an amazing workplace, but a lot of them are about what you can offer to your employees to make them want to stay. And just think slightly outside the box. There is so many reason. If you think about differentiation in terms of design, in terms of sales, in terms of marketing, there are people who use, maybe not Tom's shoes anymore, because that's a bit, not quite as in vogue. But when Tom's shoes first came out, they took over a huge portion of the market because they were giving one pair of shoes to someone in need as they sold a pair of shoes. Zappos weren't. Clark's weren't. That's fine. People still shopped at Clark's and Zappos, but their market, Tom's market, was a very specific type of people, and they cornered it. If you can get that right and you can corner that market of your candidates, you're going to win, because they won't want to go and work for a big design firm because it's soulless.
And for more inspiration, go back to last Thursday's episode as well, our interview with Paul Barnes and Amanda Wilcox from MAP. They have majority Gen Z, and they've had struggles with retention over the years, and now they're in a place where they're enjoying really high levels of engagement and retention. So some good ideas there, and they invest heavily in professional and career development there as well. So some really good inspiration from that, and as I said, Ed Williams as well. But yeah, there's loads you can do, but I think it's you're gonna have to work for it. I'm afraid that's just the way it is with and the market is shifting. We are going into a downturn, so you might find your retention just naturally ticks up anyway. But we don't want that. We want it to tick up because we know exactly why, and what we're doing is ticking up our employee engagement.
You want people to want to come to work for you, not want to leave.
Yeah, so especially as an SME, that's what's in your superpower as an SME. You can be more agile. You can change things more frequently. You can be more creative. There's not much policy, as much bureaucracy. You can again play with it. I just think we all need to play a bit. I know these are big, serious problems, but the solutions don't have to be big and serious. They can be experimental. They can be, let's try, let's talk about it, let's collaborate. That in itself is going to start to build that trust, that authenticity that you talked about earlier, Al, which the Gen Zs love to.